We're back, Head Coach's Corner, the video number 2, Chalk Talk with Coach Flo. I want to really quick just give a shout out to my son Frankie. He's putting this all together, doing all the editing, all the video, everything you saw in the first one. It's all him. It's amazing. He's a 7th grader, and he's got the video editing stuff down in 7th grade. So I'm back again. We just bear with me a little bit. We're just trying to get the kinks out. You can see my whole face now. We did a couple of different variations here with the board, so you can see the board and you can see what's on the board, so you don't have to zoom in. And we're gonna try. I want to try and keep these videos between 20 and 30 minutes. I know the last one was about 45, and to me, I don't want to bore you. I want to make sure you're getting something out of this. So we're gonna go back to where we were the first day. We talked about that empty concept. We're just in today's video. We're gonna do 4 things. We're gonna review the empty concept that we talked about in the first video again. Then we're gonna talk about the different protections that can go through it. I only went through one basic protection, a cover 2 shell, a cover 4 shell, with either a 4-man front or a 3-man front. I only really went through one basic blitz or pressure. Then we're going to talk about the variations of the play. The beauty of the play is you can run the play and there could be many variations to it. So although it's different play calls, it's still within the play family. So there's different people that get involved. And then the 4th piece is there's a run option. So what I drew up the first day was against the 2 high shell, which is ideal. You want to run you want to throw the get open against the cover 2 shell just because of the window in there to throw the ball. The other thing is, if you remember, I talked about in the first video, a lot of teams, what they'll do is once you hit that get open enough times, then that safety will come down to try and rob the get open. You want to try and hit the skinny post behind it. So the goal in the route is you're trying to hit the get open. That's the most important thing. When you tell your quarterbacks, what are you trying to hit? You're not trying to hit the whip. You're not trying to hit the crossing route. The crossing route's great against man, against cover 0, because that may open up quicker. The whip is merely there to occupy the linebackers. It's a check down. That's why you go get open to post to whip, because it's a check down. It's just like you check in the back out of the backfield. But when you get teams that rob it, then you have other variations. Okay? So once again, we're going to review. We're talking about protections, variations, and then run option. Okay, so we're going to erase here. Okay, we're going to talk about, we're just going to review. Okay? Try and make these boxes a little bit bigger. And like I said, if you need individual, more in-depth, my website's on there, jfcamps.com. You can email me. You can get me that way. You can get me on Facebook. However you need to get in touch with me, we could talk one-on-one. I'm able to send you some stuff. At some point, I want to be able to show you some video on this stuff. So this was what we talked about day 1 from a variation standpoint. So if you're not really deep at receiver and you have a couple of really good running backs, remember you can substitute a running back in here. This doesn't have to be a 3rd receiver. You can put another running back in there. You put your best catcher, your most athletic player there. Okay? In review, your fastest receiver should be the Z. So however you work it out in this particular play, if you want to run this play, he should be your fastest receiver. Why? Because he's running the skinny post. You want to occupy that safety so the get open route's open. The X should be your possession guy. Should be the guy that you count on. You need 5 yards, you need 3 yards, but he doesn't have to be fast. He's got to be a possession guy. All right? Your tight end is your tight end. Your T is one running back, and then your W could be your W or it could be another running back. But this is what I talked about in terms of review from the other day. We talked about the 2 shell, and we talked about the whip concept, and we said it was under over. All right? Remember, this guy's 2 yards from the end man in the line of scrimmage, and they get to a point where they're just about ready to get, one thing we used to tell guys is try and slap hands. Right? That's how close you want to get. All right, and then they whip out, and then you got your skinny post, and then you have your get open, 3 steps, head stick here, and you have your curl here. Now, you can get complicated with it, as I said. Some people don't have that kind of leeway to get complicated, but this guy is also an exit guy. So what that means is if you come at the quarterback comes out, doesn't want to check out, he sees soft over here, he could check this curl to either a 6-yard out or hitch. Okay, he could check it to a hitch or now. You just got to give him a hand signal. Everything else stays the same. So the quarterback's taking the ball, turning his hips, and throwing the ball. All right. Why a hitch in and out? Well, you don't want to run a slant because it's going to run into the whip. All right. You still want to occupy this safety. You're trying to occupy these 2 guys. This guy's trying to occupy these 2 guys. These 2 are trying to occupy these 2 guys, which is the reason why he is the read. And if you do that against this look, which you're probably going to get if you do it on 1st down or 2nd and long, you're going to get too high. You're going to get the quarterback taking a snap, taking 1, 2. The quarterback is here. He's taking 1, 2, 3. So it's a 3-step, even though it's 5-step. He's taking 1, 2, 3, turning and looking at that outside stamp. So when the receiver comes here and head sticks, if he opens, he's underneath, he bangs the ball. If he sits there and he walls it off, all right, and this guy's got to go over the top or whatever the case is, and he can't get there, then he can go to his skinny post back to his whip. Okay? So review, that's what we talked about the first video. Okay? Obviously the variation to this is you can run across, and now the guy that becomes the 3rd read is the T. You're not throwing it to the Y. Unless the quarterback's got enough time, he's the 4th option. All right? Questions? Have we got any questions? Whatever the case is, you can shoot it to me. All right, let's just talk about protections real quick. And then I'll talk to you about variations, and then we'll talk about a run play. Okay, so protection-wise, against this particular look, if a team wants to stay it too high, and they're playing either squat on one side, cover 2. See, I always call cover 6. You know, some coaches call it quarter, half. I call cover 6. I always called it to the strength. So if we were seeing squat over here and soft over here, that's cover 2 there. That's cover 4. That's why I called it cover 6. So it was always cover 6 strong. And it meant whatever side the team was giving us squat cover 2 is what I called 6 strong. If it was the other way around and he was playing off and he was playing up, I called it 6 weak. Obviously, call it whatever you want. I mean, it's totally up to you. All right, but protection-wise, again, most important thing, you know, as a young coach, I was told a lot of my young coaches that work for me, they draw up all these great schemes and these pass plays and whatnot. I always tell them, how do you block it? Because if you can't protect it, your quarterback can't throw the ball on his back. Can't. Okay? So protection-wise, the 5 guys here are responsible for the box. Okay? So if a team's just going to stay base like this, a lot of times they'll do some games. So we usually tell our line, you're on, we're going to block this big. There's no slide protection here because we don't have a back. We could slide protect if we keep the Y in, but we're not because he's in the route. Okay, so it's big on big. It's 5-man protection. Remember, the play was either called 55. Okay, Cleveland or Wisconsin, based on what you were going to run. Either 55 Cleveland for cross, 55 Wisconsin for whip, or if you were using the route tree, it was 2. It was always the inside most guys. It was 2 whip or 2 cross, 9-5 get open. Always the routes going from strong to weak, not right to left. Okay, so if the formation was Ruby left, it would be the same thing. Only now, it would be from the strength going around. So if it was Ruby left, it would be 2 whip. The 9 would be on the left. The 5 will be on the right. The get open will be on the left. Remember that. It's always based on strength of formation. Okay? So that's how you read the routes. So Ruby right, you're reading it from right to left. Ruby left, you're reading it from left to right. But like I said, your tackle is going to be here, big on big. We do ask them to not jump them on the line of scrimmage because we don't want to get beat. So we ask our tackle to take an aggressive one step and then plant his foot and put it in the ground. So we don't want to attack on the line of scrimmage because if he ducks, we're in trouble. But at the same token, we don't want to kick step too far because we want to be aggressive. So we go in between. We take a one step and then we're playing aggressive inside out. Okay, so we're tackle here is big on big. Here. Covered. If you're covered, you got them. All right, and then your guards are taking a step off the ball. And the reason why we do that is because we do ask our guards to molly and play games. So they're responsible for here to here. So here's my guard. If my guard steps like this and the sand comes, you can't block him. But if my guard steps out and the mic drops, now he can help on the wide guy. So that's why we want to step off the line because we want to see what these guys are going to do. Now, if this guard steps back and the mic delays for a second, then blitzes, and then if this would have happened, he steps, he shows and drops, but then he comes. Well, then the quarterback's got to see that. He's got to throw hot. Here's your tight end now, and we always tell guys hot. You replace where a guy's blitzing. You don't cover yourself. So we tell this guy, if this guy delayed blitzes, if he steps, he doesn't come, now he thinks over here for this guy here, then he comes, well, here's your replace. So here's the quarterback now. The quarterback's here, boom, boom, boom. He's looking W, he's looking get open the post. He sees the mic coming, he dumps the ball to the tight end. The biggest mistake is this guy just keeps coming over here because he's programmed to do what the coach says. No, you got to think on the run a little bit. You get guys thinking on the run, you complete passes. Okay? So that's that from that standpoint. Variations for that. If you see a 4-man front, a lot of times you'll get a wide, a shade. You got a Sam here, you get your mic in the middle, your backer here. Same thing, they're pressuring you with 5. They're playing off with 6. Same deal. Now your tackle has on or outside. Is there anyone on him? No. Outside of him, yes, there's an end. So he's got to take one step out, and that's his guy. The guard, on or outside. Is there anyone on him? Yeah, the 3 technique. He's got to block him. The end, to come over this side, on or outside, he's got him. These 2 guys are responsible for those 2 guys. So because he's in a shade, the center is required to step to help. And they eye up here. Okay? We do practice a lot of switches with this and twists because you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get games where you get this, where this 3 tech goes first, this end goes second, and they have to switch off. Okay? So those are the types of switches you're going to get. So you practice all the different games against this. Okay, so we just talked about the review. Okay, so now from a protection standpoint where it gets a little dicey, now where you start to get different looks, is now when you start to see teams try and rob the coverage. So we'll start with a 4-man front. And I'll give you all the reads involved in it. He's in a 9, he's a 3, he's a shade, he's a 3, there's your Mike, Sam, your Will. Okay? So understand this. If they blitz one of these 2 guys, they got to find a way to cover up one of those 2 guys. Either maybe drop this guy, which this guy's got to be a heck of a stud to make that drop. Bring this safety down, bring this safety over. They have to figure out a way to, otherwise they're leaving guys wide open. And obviously, guys wide open is really what you want from an offensive perspective. So, two blitzes that I saw a lot of, what we would call open boss and tight boss. Open was to the weak side, tight was to the tight end side. So basically what it meant was backer and strong safety off the edge, outside. So open boss, because this is the open side, you'd get a lot of this. Against this look, you'd get this, all right? You'd get this, you get that. Okay, now the problem, now someone's left uncovered, so a lot of times this guy you would see this safety would sometimes, most of the times, he would be stacked behind that will at a depth of 10 yards. So he wouldn't be right behind them, but he was stacked. That was the key interpreter for the quarterback that there was some sort of pressure coming here. So now if we were running two whip, this guy is trying to get over here. So now here he comes. Here he comes here, and now he's looking for the ball. So he's starting to run his route. He squares up. We'll take the 5 yards. Take what the defense gives you. Don't get all sexy and try and drop back and get sacked. So if you run your two whip concept here, okay, and they went with that blitz, all right, more than likely if they did that, he may not blitz. He may not come because now he's got to be responsible there. He wouldn't come because he's responsible there. So it'd still be a 5-man pressure. The difference is you were getting it from a different angle. Okay, so how would we block this? Well, we said before, let's start on the strong side. On or outside, he's got him. On or outside, one step, he's got him. So that's covered. The center, because he's in a 2-eye, is responsible to step to this gap. That's his responsibility. Just in case there's a slant. Okay? He steps to this gap, okay? And this backer drops, okay? He steps this gap. Now the guard sees this. He steps. He sees this. He's got to get back out here. All right? The tackle, and now, mind you, these guys are taking one step. So he's taking a step off the ball. Step off the ball. So when he shows right away that he knows he's got him, he now immediately comes here. He steps, he'll see the pressure. This guy will walk up. He's got him. So basically fan blocking to this side. So once again, the only thing that would kind of screw this up would be if this Mike delays and blitzes. Once again, your quarterback's got to be smart enough to understand that if that happens, nobody is covering this guy. Nobody is covering this guy. So you got to practice it and practice. You got to give them this look. If this is the team that you're playing at, this is their #1 blitz, you got to give it to the quarterback in practice in a skill session 15 times. He's got to see that look 15 times. Your line's got to prepare 15 times against that look. Okay? So that they'll all get a good feel. Once again, couple keys. The linemen can't attack on the line of scrimmage. They got to take a step away to let the defense come to them. That's the first thing. Second thing, the line got to know their rules. Third thing is the whip and the cross guys are the hot guys. So we talked about before the read, get open, post, whip, get open, post, cross. The cross and the whips against inside pressure are the hot guys. So the quarterback's here. He sees this guy. He sees this will coming down. He sees the will coming down against this 4-man look. He knows from practice and game film that they're sending 3. This guy now has to come down and cover this guy from 10 yards. It's not happening. He's not going to get beat deep, but the quarterback's going to be able to step and throw the ball to the T right away. T's got to have his head on a swivel. He sees the will go. He sees the safety coming down. There's the Mike. He's got to find the window and turn to catch the ball. Basic level stuff. Okay? The variation to the strong side is the tight boss. Hopefully you're staying with me here. All right, so you got your now I put him in a 7. Now I put him in a 7. So put him in a 7 now instead of a 9. A lot of times what you're going to get when he's in a 7 is you're going to get pressure. you're going to get pressure. When he's in a 7, more so than when he's in a 9. In a 7, he's going to try and take this gap. He's even going to try and take this gap, which is you're more apt to see this, and then either he comes down, stacked, off the edge, or the mic comes around. Once again, they got to rotate their coverage. That means now they're probably going to lock up, play 2-man. That means he's probably got him. He's probably got him. He's locked up. He's locked up. These two guys are deep guys. Now, guys and gals, guess what's open in the middle of the field? No one there. Once again, you got to give your quarterback 15 reps of this in practice a day. Or whenever you have blitz, you got to do it. So once again, now your protection, let's look at your protections. All right, so it's a little bit more difficult because of the way the defense is lined up. So we'll start the strong side. The tackle on or outside, he's responsible for the end. When he takes one step off the ball and he steps in, his responsibility should be to step in. He crosses his face, he steps off, his responsibility is to block him. That's his responsibility. Okay? What did I tell you initially? I initially told you that these two are responsible for these two, and he's responsible for him. I told you that that the center and guard are responsible for the mic and the tee. So these two guys step off. He's here. He has to block him. He knows he's got him. He sees him go. Now he's got a molly. He's got to get out here to block the mic. Okay? That's how you do it as best as possible, so you still got it covered. Okay? Because more than likely, he's not shooting in this gap, because that's not sound. You already have double A gap blitz. If he does, then that's because either he messed up or something like that. Okay? And then obviously the other variation to this would be if he comes, that means he's got to come down. They play him man. Okay? Now, one of two things can happen. He could step down and take him, step down and take him. He could step here, sees here, he drops, and he blocks there. Or we used to have what we did before, we'd have a fan call. If this guy lines up on the ball and we know he's coming, then we fan it. And that means he's on him. Sorry. He's on him, and he's on him. So you got 3 fanning there. He's got to take him, even though he's inside leverage. So now he's got to step inside almost, just to play him inside. So you got these 5 blocked, these 2 blocked. If he comes, quarterback's got to read hot. Quarterback's got to read hot. Because it's the strong side, it's 2 whip or 2 cross. Okay? I want to move on, so we're running out of time. Try and keep this as close as we can to 30 minutes. Let's talk about variations. Okay, variations to this. And then a run. And I'm giving you a lot of information because that's what my goal is. My goal was to give you as much information as possible. Change the defense up. Well, we'll keep it this way. And if you have individual questions about how you do it and how you would do it, reach out to me. You know, like I said, I've been out now about a year, trying to get back in to coach in some capacity. Haven't done it for 10 years as a head coach. I like the administration stuff. I like the breakdown. I like film breakdown, all that stuff. You know, analysis, personnel. That's the type of stuff I like. But you know, I love coordinating the offense too. Okay, so variations. So we add the word switch and swap. Switch and swap. So you got 2 whip, 9-5, get open. You got 2 cross, 9-5, get open. So there's 2 different routes. All right? And then obviously you want to call it a different way. Call it numbers, call it letters, whatever you want. You call it Cleveland or Wisconsin, whatever you want to call it. Then you add to it switch and swap. Switch will always refer to, we use the I, we use the T in switch to say 2. We use the A in swap for away. So what does that mean? So if we're switching to the strength. If we're swapping away from the strength. So if we said 2 whip, 9-5, get open, switch. Now here's what you got. Now this W, the switch and the swap will always refer to, and here's the key, in switch and empty, it's number 2 and number 3. If you number them from right to left. The swap will refer to 4 and 5. Number 1 is never involved, ever. Number 1's got the post no matter what. That's why he's got to be the fastest guy in the field, because he's never moving that spot, ever. But like if you want to switch it up and you want to get him the ball and you go 2 whip, now what happens? Well, he ran the get open initially, and he ran the whip. They switch routes. So now he's in tight. He goes vertical, 2 steps, bam. Here's your whip. Nothing changes over here. Still got a whip. Still got a curl. Here's your skinny post. It's such a great variation to the play, because what's going to happen is the Sam is not going to allow, after a while, this W, this other guy, to get inside. So he's going to play inside. He's going to play inside of him. He's going to play inside of him and guard the inside. So, you know, your guy's going to come out and try and stick and try and get inside. Once he gets impeded, the play's done. The quarterback's got to immediately go to the next read because there's not enough time to throw the ball. So once you know that, that's how they try and stop you. Well, your combat to that is you go switch. Your tight end now against this guy, a free release. Well, when this guy comes underneath, he's going to expand. He's not going to cover that. He sees this against 2 safeties, bam. Quarterback's banging the ball right down the seam. Okay? If you call 2 whip, if you call 2 cross, 9-5, get open, switch. Now all that changes is this guy goes to the other side and your T comes back. So now if like you're banging that route, now all of a sudden they decide, well, we're going to drop. We want to take that away. Well, guess who's now open? Your crossing guy. And you teach this guy that when he gets over here, let's say this guy drops and this guy sits, you want to sit in that window. You want to sit in that window right there. Look for the ball. If this guy drops, you see this guy sitting, you want to sit in that window. So the quarterback can carry you all the way over to that side. Okay? Let's just talk about the other option, which is swap. And then I'll give you the run variation and we'll be done for today's talk. Okay, so I said switch is 2, swap is away. Okay, remember, it's always based on swap, switch. So this is based on if the strong side is to the right. If the strong side is to the left, your switch is going to be on the left. Your swap's going to be on the right. If your strong side's on the right, like it is here, your switch is on the right, your swap's on the left. So now, same thing here. Now on a swap, all you want to do is you want to ask your X to squeeze the split a little bit. Don't give it away. Okay, so now what do you got? Well, let's say it's 2 whip. He's here. Here's your get open. Here's your post. Now you know that they're messing around the backside. So now he's on the ball, so he goes first. He curls. What we do for a T is we call it a curl hunt, so he can slide to the sideline. So it's 12, back to 10, slide. And now your X is in the game. You want to get your possession guy. You know it's 3rd and 3. You want to get him the ball. So if they send some pressure, bam, right there, first down. Move the chains. You get everybody involved. You want to get crazy and take it to the last level, you go switch swap. It's happening on both sides. Now you got this guy here running down the seam. You got this guy coming here in the whip. Now you got it happening on both sides. So you got 5 different ways you can run this play against 2 high. Initial pre-snap read. Okay? Now I'm going to give you the run. If for some reason Because people always say, well, coach, what do you do if they change the defense and they give you one high? Because against one high, now there's a safety in the middle of the field, and that route isn't an open. Well, I'll give you the answer to that question right now. I'll give you a run option. I'll give you a 4-man front. So that I put a guy here. Free is there. Strong safety here. So Sam is gonna he'll probably be in a 7. Sam, Mike, Will. Okay, so now they're playing thirds. They're playing man free. They're packing the box. Even sometimes these guys are right on the ball. And hell, they may not even be coming. They may not even be coming. But if you get to a point where you see this, and you see one high, pre-snap, you can run the route, okay? Because remember, against this, look, he's getting a free release. If you switch it, if you keep it solid, he's here. But the high percentage players are on a trap. Because now you force them, now they're thinking, well, how are they going to throw against this? So you want to trap away from the strength, unless they're overloaded to the weak side. So your trap is real simple. On this side here, what you're doing is you're going to trap, you're going to block here, you're going to here, because he's in a shade. Okay. Now most people would run this to the 3 technique, but you can run it both ways. He blocks back. Okay. This tackle here is going to one step it, and then he's tracking through in case there's a little switch here. If he comes here, then he's got him. Your guard is kicking out. These two guys here running what they would run if it's like this. He blocks and he's running that bubble effect. If they were switched on the line of scrimmage and he was off, they run a little stay route. So they're trying to occupy these two guys. Over here, your tackle steps and hinges. And on this side, what they do is you have, what we normally do in this route is the same thing. You have him block out, him do this, and then he's right here. So you got a quick screen look to both sides. So the get open route, the cross route automatically changes in one high, and you just call trap. We just call Texas for trap. You go east or west for right or left. We used to use boys' names to the right, girls' names to the left. So we go, in this case, Texas Amanda. Use colors, black and brown. So brown was to the right. Use the R and brown. Use the L and black to the left. So we come to the line, you'd see one high, and the quarterback would go check, check, or he'd go 0-0. He'd go block Texas Amanda. And that immediately told everyone what was going on. So now you had this play built in, and now here's your quarterback. He takes the snap. He opens like he's going to throw to that side. So he takes the snap and opens to get maybe the safety to move over, these guys to come down, and then here you go. And you got a built-in run play right off of it. Built-in run. Because love to have built-in runs. All right? And that's now, obviously it's tough because, this guy's in his shade, so it's easy block back if he shoots the gap. This is a tough block because it's a long block, but you got to be able to do it to both sides. If you were to go to the other side, let's say you say, you know what, coach, we only want to go to the 3-man side. We only want to go to the 3 technique side. Well, nothing changes. They do the same thing. They do the same thing. Nothing changes. Okay, so now what you get, okay, is you're going to get a double. So, I mean, like, there were years where we were a little bit undersized, so we wanted to get a double. We knew that was the best player. We want to double them into here, block back, step and hinge, kick out the end. Okay, you can do things with the tight end. By the tight end stepping out like this, the end may go with him. The end may come upfield. The linebacker's definitely going to go outside because he's going to think it's a pass play. All right, quarterback does this. He takes the snap. He turns and opens like he's going to throw. That is going to widen the end. Here. That's your run play. Now you can come out and empty, and you can have 2 plays. And then a variation to that is you can have a pass off it, but we don't need to get into that. I already gave you a pass. I gave you a pass with 5 ways: 2 whip, 9-5 get open, 2 cross, 9-5 get open. I gave you 2 whip, switch, 9-5 get open, 2 whip, swap, 9-5 get open. You have the cross option, which actually makes it 6. You got switch swap, which makes it 7. You got 7 concepts that you can practice at empty. You could be professionals at running that play. And then you see this. It's even better against 0. It's better against 0. It's better against 0. It's good against man. 1 high. If for some reason this safety's not in the middle of the field, and maybe he's stacked here because he's coming hard, and he's here, and they're setting 3 off the edge, it's fine. Run the quarterback trap. Now he may not open as much. Now he may just turn, pump, and go. He may just move his hips and pump and go. Now if you got this coming here, and you got block Texas Amanda, you want to check opposite because you want to run it to the other side. We want them to blitz away. However you call, check to the other side. Now there's no one in the middle of the field. And even if this guy's not a fast runner, he's going to get at least 10 yards. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, you're going to get the first down. So rules again for trap are again one high or no high. 0 or 1. And you can run it to the 3, and you can run it away to the shade. The shade is more of a long call. With our line would make a long call, meaning that we know we're tracking longer to get to that mic. And when you're going to the 3 technique, you know what you got. And then what makes it even better is teams will do this, and then we're done for today. A lot of teams go to this look now. Okay, they got corner, they got the end, they got the 3, the shade, the end. They put the Sam in here standing, the Mike standing, the Will standing. They got the safety, they got the safety. They go straight 0. Straight 0. And these guys are actually standing on the ball. And they got 7 across. And they're playing straight 0. Well, you could go, with your, what I would check to is I would check the 2 whip, 9-5 get open switch, just because the leverage you have on the tight end is he's be wide open, but that's assuming he's covered. But if you stay with the run, everyone blocks down a gap. So it's just a pure numbers game at that point. So we said that we want to go away from the strength. Okay, let's say you want to stick with, you want to go to the 3 technique. That you absolutely want to do that. Okay? So what you would do is, if these guys are all standing on the ball, and you don't know if they're coming or not, you would make a max call or a solid call, and that would keep your tight end in. Okay? So you'd run to the 3 technique, you see this look, you go Brown, Texas Michael, or Brown, Texas Charlie. You go solid, solid, solid. Tight end now is down on the Sam. We're down on the tackle. We're down on the mic. We're down on the nose. We're kicking out the end. We're stepping and cutting this guy. We don't care about him. Okay? We don't care about him. Here's your little route here to occupy these 2. Now the quarterback knows it's straight 0, and we're not blocking an end man on the line of scrimmage. So now he takes the snap, he takes 1 step, and he goes. And here he is. 1 step, touchdown. Or big game. Or first down. Okay? So hopefully that helps you today. So once again, we took the review. We talked about some protections. We talked about variations. And I gave you a run concept. So I think in 2 weeks we've really evolved. And hopefully we'll try and do this every week. I'll come back out again next Saturday, Super Bowl weekend, and we'll do a little We'll work on some special teams on Sunday. We'll work on punt, and I'll show you some variations to punt that's pretty cool that I've done in the past. All right. Once again, appreciate your time. Any questions, reach out to me. Once again, Coach Flo's head coach's corner, Chalk Talk with Coach Flo. Take care.